Hey guys, so I just wanted to give a quick review of the Samsung Galaxy Book 12. Uh, I think it's a great product. It's like a powerhouse tablet. It's got the specs of an average laptop, and uh, you know, in terms of tablet comparison, it's by far the most powerful tablet I've ever used. It does have a couple drawbacks. I got it in the hopes because I use a Samsung Note 5 as my primary cell phone or mobile phone, and I love the S Note app. Being able to write on the phone freehand as opposed to typing. It's great for jotting down quick notes. But I also work in sales and I'm making a lot of phone calls, primarily phone sales. And I use a lot of paper during those calls to write down notes throughout the call, information regarding who the client is, phone numbers, email addresses, what the client's looking for, um, and that sort of thing. And I find I've always wanted to go green, get rid of the paper, go paperless. And I've been looking since I've had the Note. I had the Note 3 and now the Note 5. I've been looking for a full size tablet that I would be able to use the S Pen on, um, or at least a similar type pen feature, and hadn't really found anything that I thought would fill that role for me. Um, but then I got an email from Samsung saying, "Come check this out," and I got excited. It's a full size tablet with the S Pen and the S Note app. Uh, Unfortunately, um, it wasn't what I expected. With the S Note 5, and this isn't a fault with the hardware, but more maybe with the programming or the app itself. With the Note 5, when you get to the bottom of the page, you're able to add another page to your booklet, and just keep going, keep writing notes down. But because it's a small screen, it just wasn't useful for me for work. Um, with the and I've had an iPad and I just didn't like every time you try to put your hand on this, like writing with like you would with a normal pen and paper. You put your hand down on the paper and then you write on the paper. You do that with a tablet and your hand touches the screen and you're leaving marks all over where your hand was. It doesn't pick up where the pen or the stylus left behind. With the S Note, it works exactly opposite of that. So you put the S Note pen near the screen, and it won't pick up what your hand does on the screen after that, which is great. The downfall is the S Note app doesn't allow, or at least I haven't figured out how to add new pages to the file that you're doing or that you're writing. So it's almost like you get to the end of the page and that's the end of the file. Um, and that I just wasn't able to integrate that into my normal workflow. So I wasn't able to do that. I'm hoping that it'll get upgraded. But in the meantime, I've been using this for other things, surfing the web, some Netflix because it's got a better than 2K screen. It's not quite 4K. It's just slightly above 2K. Screen is absolutely phenomenal. Um, and the color resolution, the screen resolution and the colors are absolutely amazing in my opinion. Um, I was hoping, and I knew when I got this that it was running on Windows, but I was kind of hoping it would have more integration with Android. You, Having multiple um, iOS or operating systems um, can be slightly distracting. You can't use this as a typical you could use it as an average laptop. It's on par with what's out there today, uh, but it's on par with what you would get for, say, between $400 to $800 in a laptop. That being said, you are getting a lot more weight when you buy something like that. It's a lot bulkier, a lot more cumbersome, and you have the charging cable and everything that goes along with that make it hard to use in everyday life. um, at least while you're out on the go. With this, it's basically a laptop when you have the keyboard attached, or a tablet when you disconnect the keyboard. And it's I find I mean, it's very easy to use. The only thing like I said, I wish I had more integration with the Android operating system, just because I've got a ton of apps that I've had on my phone, and other tablets that that I would like to take advantage of on this, but because this is running on Windows, I can't. I'm basically buying all new apps all over again. Um, and I don't think I would use this for gaming, which is what I would primarily use my desktop for. So I don't. I'm sure it can handle it. I've got Fusion 360 installed on this right now, which is a free CAD software from Autodesk. Um, if you're a student or hobbyist, otherwise you do need licenses to use that. And it seems to work on there. It can handle everything that I've thrown at it so far. I'm just a hobbyist. I'm tinkering with 3D modeling so that I can, I'm planning on getting a 3D printer. Also, I RC modeling and stuff like that. So I'm making some styrofoam models for my daughter of a hovercraft. And so I've been tinkering with Fusion 360 for that. But it can run it. And I've had issues on my MacBook Pro 2010 where it'll hang up on certain spots, and this seems to not do that. I mean, it does have its limitations. I can't turn the graphics all the way up on that. It does take a lot of memory and a lot of power, and this doesn't have that capability. But then neither would the average laptop that you would put that on either. You would need something a little higher end. But all in all, this is an absolutely phenomenal tablet. I think that it's got a couple other drawbacks. The keyboard, if for me, I'm not an expert typer by any means, and but I do type fairly fast. I'm not like a two-finger guy. I actually use all my fingers when I type. When I type fast, sometimes some of the keys don't register when I press them. And I have to go back and correct my grammar or my spelling, mostly due to the keys not being registered. The S Pen feature, or the S Pen itself, is built well. Doesn't feel like if you ever sat on it, it would break or anything like that. It's pretty solid. This is the S Pen here. It's got the button there for the S Pen features. You can also use it. Windows has their own version of the S Pen features, workflow or window flow or something like that. I haven't turned it on or tried it yet. I'm sure that's probably something more similar to what you would get with the Windows or Microsoft Surface Pro. I have never used one of those, so I don't know. The touch features on the screen I like using with the Windows, and yeah, all in all, I like the tablet. I just think the prices for the 12, it's $18.99 Canadian to buy it retail. At that price, I don't think it's quite worth it. Just as a disclaimer, I didn't pay that price. I got it through a word of mouth marketing campaign. I did get it at a discount, but I did have to pay for it. I paid $1,100 all in. And at that price, I think it's absolutely phenomenal. It's worth it. Even a couple $100 more than that, it's worth it. At the $18.99, you'd probably be better getting, at that price, you're spending money on getting almost a gaming level laptop, which could probably do more. It's going to have more RAM and probably a higher processor than the tablet, but you're going to lose the tablet functionality. You're probably not going to have a touch screen. So there's pros and cons to both of those. But again, I think this tablet is absolutely phenomenal. Couple software issues, like the S Note app. Once someone shows me how to add pages or they add that feature in, it's going to be absolutely killer, and I'll be able to use that in my everyday business workflow. So, which is what I initially wanted this for. But in the meantime, I'm still having fun with it. So I'm going to cut this off now because I'm getting into like plus 10 minutes. Don't want to bore you guys, but yeah, check this out. I'll probably post a link to my review on the Insiders with some pictures. I'm actually filming this video review on the tablet, so I can't actually show it to you. But yeah, it's something you guys should check out. Cheers.